Welcome back, baseball fans. 1972-75 carryover league. We are back into the card set analysis, and we're in the year 1973. We took a look at the American League East and the American League North, looking at, in this box, the four guys they're looking to keep, and then also cards that are in the league in a different year. In either 72 or 74 in our carryover league, but we can look at other alternate cards that exist in the year of 73 to see if they're options, though it's very seldom you would see that happen. We're going to start in the American League Midwest, American League West. We'll look at 8 teams tonight, and we'll call it. Just to kind of take an early look in the off season, beginning with the White Sox. In the American League Midwest, they have 4 guys here. It's Bill Melton, Wilbur, Bradley, and Johnson. Of these, Wood, yeah, that looks like that is the card you want for him. Still can field well, has a full season. That's a nice card for Wilbur, for Bill Melton. Wood, of course, we want to keep as 72, but it's good to know that it'll still be good in 73. Don't need this right away. Bradley has a nice 72, but if we want, we could go to 73. Now that ERA is a little high here. I think he's also better in 72. And Bart Johnson, this is an okay card at best, not very good over there. And we know he's got a better card in 74, we believe. This is a backup plan for some reason. If you can't get Bart into a 74 card, you have this one. And then after that, you've got guys who already have a card. We have 72 Forster, though 73 Forster is pretty good. Aparicio turns into a 3. We still have him as a 2. Dick Allen's an MVP in 72. He's still good in 73. Carlos May takes a bit of a drop there. Bonson is on 3 days rest, and it's a sideways move to get into that card. Of course, we've got Orta in 74 when he's much better. Same with Ken Henderson, much better. So that's a look at the Chi Sox. Of that lot, looks like Bill Melton. Bill Melton, and probably they'll look into finding a free agent maybe from that season. Next are Kansas City Royals. They made a deal to find a catcher, and they got Fran Healy off of the Giants, as Healy did indeed move on to Kansas City, so it made sense. So it's Healy plus the infielders Patek, Rojas, and the Splittorff as a pitcher. Probably will take this Healy card. That's pretty darn good for a -1 arm catcher. 276. Patek is a 2, just a single A stealer, and boy, he has trouble with the stick here. 234. Hopefully he can get to 250 soon. Rojas, the 2 at second base. That's not a bad card. It's the 4th template, 4th best hitter on this team. That probably didn't hit very well. Though 276 for Rojas is pretty darn good. Right now I'm liking Healy and Rojas. But Splittorff's got a nice 73 card. Look at that. 398, 20-game winner. ERA's high, did win 20. Sometimes that's deceiving. And guys who are already in tow, Marty Patton. That's an okay card. He already has an okay card. Oliver has the same type of card in our league. Lou Piniella, his batting average drops. He was a 300 hitter, or close to it. Now he's 250. Is he a Yankee yet? Not yet. Kirkpatrick, he loses a little bit of his power and walk ability. Still versatile. 263. Mayberry has a monster 72 card, and again in 75. So this card will most likely be ignored, even though it is a very good card. Look at the walks. It's a very good card, but they'll probably skip this card, believe it or not, and go to a better card in 75 after his card is up this year. One more year with Roger Nelson with his monster 72 card, and then after that he's just an okay guy. Here's a red. You can see the Reds lost the World Series to Oakland, and they looked at Roger Nelson's stats in 72 and said, hey, let's trade for this guy. That's your Kansas City Royals. Next up, the Milwaukee squad, the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers. Made some deals. Looking outside the organization. Only 2 guys, which means the other 2 keepers, Ken Sanders and Ron Theobald, will most likely be added in 72. So Kelly, turns out, yeah, well, the White Sox didn't really want to make a deal for him. They didn't really want him. They had plenty of outfielders. And Kelly also played for Kansas City. This is a 280 card. And the Brewers might take that one. A lefty hits lefties is always valuable. John Briggs, known for his walks and power as well. These guys are very similar, although Briggs has more power, Kelly has more speed. Having these 2 guys on the same team as lefties who hit lefties could be very valuable for Milwaukee. I like them both. Then you have current Brewers Ben Oglivie, still very young here. They traded for Ollie Brown to platoon with one of those left-handed hitting outfielders. He's got a great card as a 3 outfielder. Here he's a 4. So you don't need to use this card. Steve Hovley starts to lose a little bit here. Mike Torres, a bad year. 75, he wins 20 games for Baltimore. We got Jim Slayton's card in the league with a similar card. But if you want to introduce this card into the league and replace it, he can pitch on 3 days rest. Do the Minnesota Twins, and then we'll take a little bit of a break before we get into the West. Your Twinkies. We got Leo Cardenas, Harmon Killebrew, Tony Oliva, and Tom Murphy. Don't like this Cardenas card at all. Don't even want it. Killebrew, 72 is going to be his last good year, and then after that, he'll continue for a few more sluggish kind of years. Just not enough of anything, really. Yeah. I mean, barely league worthy at this point. Sometimes these guys hang around a little bit too long. Oliva, though, says, oh, I love DHing now. He actually has another year in the outfield, I believe. Actually, maybe not, because 72 he misses. Either he misses 72 or 74 with an injury. But he's got a DH year here. That's a heck of a nice DH year. And Tom Murphy's got a better card in 74 as a reliever. Here, he can still be a swingman, starter 7. He can still start, be a 3 or 4 starter behind Goltz, Cott, and Blyleven. And then they have Phil Roof, same kind of card. Reichert, wow, this guy pitched forever with Baltimore. Now he's with the Dodgers. He's got a good card already with a 72 one. Gold's rookie card is in the league, and then from here it gets a little worse, actually. So it gets worse before it gets better. We got Blyleven in his best card, though this one's a starter 9. We might want to think about this. Getting him into a starter 9 and wearing out his arm, making pitching every 3 days. That's a nice card. Maybe we bump Blyleven into this one. Cott's got his good 72 card in our league, so we don't need this one. Soderholm, excellent card, but his defense, he was a 2, now he's a 3. He's turning more into an average, not a defensive player. Here's just 1 homer, 111 at bats. He'll hit like 30 for the White Sox pretty soon. That's a great card, but he already has one that's decent, and same with Bill Campbell. We got Campbell's 74 card, which is about the same as this one. Of course, Campbell will eventually win like 17 games. If I had to pick the 2 guys that they would do, I would say Tony Oliva, and then maybe look into free agency for the second one. All right, let's take a little break, and then I'll pick up in the American League West. All right, we're going to go to Oakland, no, actually California. Beginning alphabetically with the Angels out west. The Angels, they picked up Paul Shaw. Like Kansas City got George Brett in the league, so they had a third baseman they didn't need anymore. And this Paul Shaw card has a hell of a year in 73. Look at that, 288 with a ton of walks. Great news for the Royals, I mean for the Angels, who are always starved for offense. I think they add this card. Spencer is going to get into a platoon at first base with Darren Johnson. So you want him to load up over here and be kind of so-so over there and have a 1 defense. This is okay. 262. Here is Darren Johnson, and there he is. Just crushing lefties over here. Does the same thing in 72, by the way. And you don't really concern yourself over here because of Jim Spencer. Johnson, Spencer, platoon. You could have the other guy DH perhaps. Pretty weak DH, but only 3 from that year. I forget who the 4th keeper was. He doesn't have a card. I think it's Mickey Rivers. David LaRoche. Ooh, that's not very good. Skip that. Upshaw, not very good either. Tons of base runners. Baylor, his 72 cards in play. And every year after that, he gets a little bit better. We got him to California much sooner than he would get here. And we skipped his tenure in Oakland as well. Ryan's still going to play that 72 card all 4 years because it's his best year. 72 was his best season. 73, he's got all the strikeouts, however, and the no-hitters. 72 was his best card. This one will be added next year. And that is your California Angels. Next up, Oaktown. Oaktown A's made that big splashy deal to get 2 pitchers for Vida Blue, getting Al Downing and Don Wilson. And Oakland's looking at Dick Green, and this is the one, I believe. A 2 second baseman. Yep. Power against lefties when the stick's not there. Stick's over here very well. Hits 262. Power's gone against righties. That's all right. We want his 2-ness. He hits 280 or 290 in 72, but he's a 3. I don't want the 3. I want the 2 for Dick Green. Al Downing's at a great 72. 73, he just missed his pitching on 3 days rest, but another fine year. Starter 6. We will be joining Kenny Holtzman, Catfish Hunter, and Don Wilson in the rotation. And there he is, Don Wilson. Your choice of 72, 73, and 74. All of those are good Don Wilson years. Here he's a starter 8. Walks guys, but doesn't give up a lot of hits at all. Heck of a card, 3.20 ERA. You could see that Downing and Wilson do better than Vida Blue and whoever else you want to add to that. And Bob Locker, he's not with the A's in 73. He got a ring for the A's in 72. Goes to the Cubs, has a fine year, and goes back to that form of a righty who gets lefties out. Now in 72, it's flipped. He dominates righties, but lefties knock him around, and I'm not sure I really want that 72 card, so we'll probably go with this Locker. He had a Dave Hamilton 74 card last year. Kenny Holtzman's best year in Oakland was 72. Still good in 73. Joe Rudy hit 372. Here he is, 73. He's down at 270. Mike Hegan at 329 in 72. He's down at 243. And Catfish Hunter had the 2.04 ERA. He's still 21-game winner, but the ERA is fine. But for him, it's not that great because it goes up by over a run. So that's why one loss record can be very deceiving. Campaneris is a 2, but he doesn't hit as well as he does in 74. 74, it's 290. Here, it's 250. So if I'm going to pick, I don't know who I want, actually. I know I want Dick Green. I like the pitchers. I could probably get 72 to Al Downing, though. And this Bob Locker's pretty darn good. So is Don Wilson. But you could get Don Wilson in 72 or 74. Good news for Oakland, chasing a World Series title. They've got plenty of quality keepers on a dynasty roster. Seattle, the Seattle Skippers, the Seattle Skip Lockwooders. Just 2 pitchers here. Skip Lockwood, not this year. 75, he goes to the bullpen, is outstanding. Ross Grimsley, traded in the offseason. They got him off of the Reds. Pitching on 3 days rest. Nice card for Grimsley. They traded Fred Norman, another Cincinnati pitcher, to Cincinnati. So the lefties swapped, but they did that so that Norman already had a card, and that created a roster spot for the Reds to add Joe Morgan. Anyway, Ross Grimsley will really help a young Seattle team. Danny Thompson tragically passed away in his youth in the 70s. He's got a card here, not a good one. Manny Alou can still hit, and he can still hit lefties. Look at this. He just cannot play the outfield anymore. We have him with a 290 card, and he's hitting 290 again. So he'll have this. He'll add that card next year, we think. Woodson has a card on 3 days rest in 72. This one's good. Not as good as the 72 card. I'll keep saying that so you understand that these are just the alternate cards that we don't really need. Same with John Ellis. He's got a 290 card. This is a nice one at 270. And Jerry Bell's got a relief 4, starter 7, ERA 1.9 card in the league. This one's good. So next year. And it's almost tradition now, folks, that John Vukovich gets a Strat-O-Matic card because of that. You can go through the John Vukovich career in Strat-O-Matic, and that might be a fun little thing to do. Get all the John Vukovich cards. He'll most likely always be a 1, and he'll most likely not have a hit on either or sometimes both sides of the card. Here it's both. So he's going to hit 140, 150, 161, in this case 125. It is a fascinating career of a guy who continues to play, because boy, he's Brooks Robinson at the field, and he is worse than Mario Mendoza at the plate. So, a lot worse. All right. One more team, Texas, and we'll give it a wrap for tonight. The Rangers. 73, Frank Howard. How about that? You can still get in the league with this card. Ignore that, he'll never swing. Because you got all of this power, and he gets on base with hits. So you can platoon with this 73 card. We like his 72 card as well. He's a Tiger here. He's welcome to be dealt to a team. I don't know where you'd want him to play or what team would want him, but he's definitely a good card to have if they find that they want to go younger, as Frank's very old now. I don't know. I believe he went from Washington to Texas for 1 year, or maybe he didn't go at all. I'm not sure about that. Dick Bosman, this is probably not the card you want to go with him. You want him to be a quality starter, and you don't get that here. Too many home runs, too many, oh, terrible, yeah. Now Bill Hands, got a 3.49 ERA. However, he's a starter 5. I can't believe they made him a starter 5. I hate 5s. I need him to be a starter 6. So I'm not sure what, I mean, it's a great pitcher. He's a fine pitcher, I guess. You can make him a number 4 starter or put him in the bullpen. And Lindblad, not really with this. This card's okay, 369, but he's got cards with ERAs around 2. And the guys they already have, Dave Rader, Mike Epstein, who, by the way, has really lost it by 73. So 72 is his last good year. Wayne Granger's getting knocked around in 73. For the Cardinals now, not the Reds. Joe LaHood got traded in the offseason, and this is not a good year for him, but he's got a pretty good 74 card. And that's it. So if I had to do this Texas, I might just do the Frank Howard. Platoon DH, he passes the test. I don't care. I don't need defense. I don't need this over here. All I need is all these home runs and enough on base, you know, just to get into the league, either with Texas or somebody else. And maybe Bill Hands, because he's got a good ERA. Not a good showing there for the Rangers in the year of 73, but think about it. They weren't very good in 73. I think 74 was their good year when Billy Martin showed up. Might be wrong there, but I believe 71, 72, and 73 Texas were pretty bad. All right, that's it. We have looked at Baltimore through Texas. So we have 16 teams down, and when we pick up next week, we'll go to the National League East and the National League Central and pick that up. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.